Good morning, CCSP. Today is Thursday, March 11th, 2021, and it is a period 1 through 5 day. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I hope you had a great Wednesday and are ready to start again today with your in-person or virtual learning. So, you're never too old to learn something. Today is National 311 Day. And you're like, because when I first saw it, I was like, 311, what is that? 311. So I looked it up and I found out something very interesting, something that I did not know. And I pride myself on knowing a lot of things. So, today is National 311 Day, and it's the day that Samuel Mudd, who was wrongly accused for the assassination of President Lincoln, and did you know that another thing I found out while watching the movie National Treasure? You know, when Nicolas Cage says, have you ever heard the phrase, your name is Mudd? And then he goes on to talk about how Samuel Mudd was one of the assassinators or one of the people accused of assassinating President Lincoln. And because of his wrong accusal, that phrase was coined in the 1800s, your name is Mudd, meaning your name means nothing. So this was the day that Samuel Mudd was released from his prison and for the false accusation of being involved with the assassination of President Lincoln. As my sister says, you can learn a lot from a dummy. It's also Women's History Month, and you've seen the little things that I put on Dojo and everything about Women's History Month, and it's Irish American History Month, or Irish American Heritage Month, rather. So let's celebrate the Irish in all of us. I have some Irish blood in me, too. Wow. Things we learn about people. But let's continue on with our story and learn why Drini is so keen to visit Thule. Not just that because, she said that, sometimes you have to go to where your friends live, and that is true. You have to be open to visiting your friends' homes, just like, Thule loves coming to Drini's house. If you're a friend, then you want to visit, where your friend lives also, to let them know that their friendship is important to you. But I feel like there's something going on. And maybe you had that feeling too, like Drini was just a little she was trying a little too hard. You know what I'm saying? So let's see if our premonitions are correct. Well, can I at least go to afternoon services with her and her grandma? That's all right. You too, with Gia? Well, good, at last, Drini said. We get to do something. Drini, her mom said, you guys get to do a lot. Bet your parents tell you that too, a lot. Drini wore a yellow wool sweater and a gray skirt with gray tights and black boots. She wore her winter jacket, which was burnt gold color. It was hooded and warm. They went uptown east around the park. Thule's building was right there, halfway in on 112th Street. The halls were only a little warmer than the outside. Drini could hear people in their apartments, radios, television. There was no one like Mr. Palmer to greet them as they came in. No Christmas tree. So we already see that there are some differences. They went up. Grandmom, open up! Don't you have your key? Drini asked her. Sure, I got my key, Thule said, but Grandmom doesn't like the sound of a key in the lock. Makes her nervous. Wonder why that makes her nervous. Gia Beanut opened the door. She was in her robe and slippers, a thin, wiry woman. She looked tired. Hi, Grandma Gia, Drini said. Hello, Drini. You look nice. I see you're not dressed, Thule said to her grandmom. No, don't feel much like going out today, she told Thule. I didn't get off the job until way late, but I made your favorite soup, baby. Drini sat down at the kitchen table. Everything was neat and clean, but bare. There was not much extra in Tule's house. The soup smelled good on the stove. Drini realized she was hungry. Tuli filled bowls with potato and meat soup. Then she sprinkled grated cheese on top. This is really good, Drini said. There was bread that Grandmom had made. Drini had a big piece. Hits the spot, Grandmom said. Drini and Tuli both agreed. It did. Afterward, Grandmom went up to take a nap, and Drini and Tuli cleaned off the table, did a few of the dishes, and put them away. I guess we're not going to afternoon services then, Drini said finally. We could go. Sounds like trouble. But you're not supposed to go without Grandma, and I don't want to anyway. All dressed up and no place to go, Drini said. She didn't feel disappointed. Exactly. Well, that's just the way it is, Tuli said. I lead a sad life. Sounding like an actress. No, you don't either, Drini said. Yeah, I do. I got up and dressed, and Grandmom was still asleep. Gia worked a night shift, helping to guard a large business. Drini was silent. Finally, she said, You got Grandmom. You got me and my family. Tuli stared at her, eyes blank. And you look like a model. That made Tuli smile broadly. Yeah, I do. Yeah, you do, Drini told her, and she meant it. They played checkers for a while and listened to the radio. Sitting on Tuli's bed, they painted her nails. Tuli painted hers sunlight yellow. I love Christmas time, Drini said, but I can't wait for summer to come. She painted her nails a deep rose. We ought to make a resolution to do something different each week next summer, Tuli said. Maybe by then, Bluish can go do stuff with us and walk too. You're always thinking about her, Tuli whined. What about me? Drini sighed. She let it go, but soon after, she said she had stuff to do. She went home, relieved. Soon she'll be seeing Willie and her dad and Mom. Did you notice that maybe Tuli is a little jealous of Drini's relationship with Bluish? Sometimes friends can be like that too. Journal, Bluish, trip out in the field. The vivarium. Well, how could you guess? I didn't. Nobody did. We get on the bus, and Bluish, she gets to go. She's as excited as me, only we don't show it. Tuli, stop jiggling, we told Tuli Fuli, and we all laugh. Then we all jiggle, and the bus goes. We had all the kids and Max and Miss Baker. Guess what? Ms. Wilburn. She came with us, but she sat with Max, talked to him. She didn't bother us. Bluish told her mom she wouldn't speak to her if she watched us or anything. Whoop! We didn't even notice her mom after a while, but how would anyone guess, huh? Yay! We get down there, and there, Natural History Museum, Central Park West at 79th. Really great with flags blowing in the cold. We get out. I want to count the steps with the rest of the kids. But how's Bluish going to get up so many steps? Her mom pointed to the sign. I saw it too. It says, wheelchair access. That means Bluish, and we get to go too. Mrs. says we can. Me and Tuli and Bluish in the chair and her mom. Not that her mom's not nice. She just kind of different than my family. But this is not about her. We went to the side of the big steps and went under and through a big door. We went on in that way to an elevator and up to the second floor. We met the kids coming in and followed them. Where are we going? Man, it's the Great Hall of the Dinosaurs. We call it. Has this great big skeleton and murals like 2 stories high on each end. Story of peoples from different times. Miss Baker spoke about them. All these visiting far real people, big people going to different parts of the museum and getting tickets, paying money. Miss Baker took care of us. We all stood together. Max put us in bunches cause we can get all in, so we could get all in at once. Too many of us. It's not in my great big place, said Max says. Well, where is it? In the vivarium. It's a closed habitat. We went into the Oceana Hall of Birds part, they call it, where they put the vivarium. A vivarium. That's an interesting term. They told us you have to get through the first doors quickly. Don't let anything escape. Go through and the next doors and you're in. Here, her mom said, okay, I could wheel Bluish. I did. We get through the doors and we didn't let anything out. What do you think can get out? Nobody minded that our 10 bunch went first. Almost too many kids. Oh, it was hot. I want to stand, Bluish. She stood. Tuli sat in Bluish's chair. Paula pushed Tuli Fooly. Funny. Bluish is just like anybody, standing. You think that was important to Bluish? Always some of us have our caps on, just like her, so nobody knows she's been sick. Bluish and us walking around looking at everything. It took her breath some, but she loved it there. I let her take my arm. She is very, very not heavy. Her mom watches, but I don't tell Bluish. It was so hot and wet in there it curled my hair. They call it a made up fragile forest in the middle of icy New York. A made up fragile forest. What kind of forest do you think it might be? Called it Tropical Butterflies Alive in Winter, the official name. Not just any old butterflies, too, but 500 great big ones and little ones from the tropics. 80 degrees in here. Whew. The humidity is way high, too. Oh, the butterflies, tropical plants, and rotting food. They like it. So that's what a vivarium is, huh? One landed on Max's sweater. We held out our arms. Butterflies came soon. It was so fun. Colors were so many. Pretty, be gentle, so bright. A big one landed on my shoulder, then on Bluish, right on her arm. It was humongous. Max, Max, look at Bluish. Bluish's eyes got great big. Her face lit up. Man, she looked so happy. It's all blue, she said. It's way big, too, Tuli said. Honey, don't bring it near me. I'll scream if you do. But watch Bluish. Her face filled. She was all happy. Butterfly giant. Max says, reading, it's a blue morpho with a BII big wingspan. It's a big butterfly. They told us not to brush the butterflies off us. Let them walk off or lead them onto a plant, or we could hurt them. Butterflies are poisonous, toxic, most of them. Max was reading it. Bluish stares at the blue morpho as it finds a plant, looking so far away now. But I read her. I didn't look. Knew she was thinking, me, Bluish, toxic, me. That don't mean nothing. You weren't born that way, I told it in the air. The morpho fluttered its wings open, then half closed, like breathing out and in. Bluish wobbled. I got her chair for her. Her mom helped her and took Bluish out to the great hall. I stayed in to watch all kinds. A zebra swallowtail that looked like the animal, orange ones, and one little red-rimmed one. I read the pamphlet about all the butterflies. I'm going to put it up in my rooms so I'll know. Willie's going to want one, so I took two. I like the Isabella tiger butterfly. It's so dainty. The monarch looks small next to the big blue morpho. There's something scary about that morpho, like it bites, maybe. Also bright and deadly, maybe. Border, all black. Going through the vivarium, all of us, didn't take more than an hour. You can't stand the humidity longer than 15 minutes. I gave a last look on the top tropics, giant green plants and a giant blue morpho. Well, it was sure something, from egg to caterpillar to pupa. When the caterpillar doesn't eat or move, it rests and becomes an adult. The bitter butterfly. Wow, the life stage of a butterfly. We don't have time for the nature shop outside the vivarium. Shoot. But whoop, I got an idea. Guess what? So, what do you think that Dreenie is up to? What do you think she's going to do? What idea could she have? Do you think it involves bluish? Let's see tomorrow what happens. We're almost finished with this book, so it's coming to a climax. Let's see what's going to happen. I'm wondering. I hope you are too. CCSP, have a wonderful day of teaching and learning. Happy Thursday.